Ever notice how ads always pop up at the worst moments? When the killer's identity is about to be revealed. During that perfect meditation flow. On Amazon Music, we believe in keeping you in the moment. That's why we've got millions of ad-free podcast episodes, so you can stay completely immersed in every story, every reveal, every breath. Download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.
Running a business means checking a lot of boxes.
Let's see. Payroll? Check. Inventory? Check. Insurance?
Good thing Simply Business makes getting small business insurance fast and easy. Check insurance off your list at simplybusiness.com.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily. Why We Don't Tell People About Our Dreams by Margo Aaron of ThatSeemsImportant.com. My first job after college was as a research assistant in a psychiatric research clinic. Part of my job was to conduct assessments of potential participants in our studies on major depression and anxiety. In psychiatry and psychology, since we lack reliable biometrics, for now, we're reliant on self-report to get an assessment of your symptoms, which is a no-good, very bad way to assess things, especially with someone you just met, and especially when you're 21 and they're 45. Imagine being asked the following by a 21-year-old fresh out of college. Have you felt sad, down, or blue? Do you find you've lost pleasure in things? Do you have thoughts of hurting yourself? Are you having any issues with intimacy? You don't need a PhD to see why telling a 21-year-old that you just met 20 minutes ago about your intimate life and suicide ideation is a lost cause. And yet, many people did tell me. They told me more than I asked. Stories and context and layers came out. I learned about self-harm, trauma, phobias, child abuse, assault, ED, suicide attempts, and more. Always followed by this statement: I haven't even told my family this. No one knows. It's easier to tell things to strangers. More recently, I noticed this same pattern in discussions about our dreams. This struck me as odd, seeing as suicide, ED, and assault carry an immense social and societal stigma, whereas dreams presumably do not. Except, I discovered, they do. Sharing our dreams carries shame. Shame about the content of the dream. Shame about possessing the dream. Shame about our inability to fulfill, begin, or finish the dream. It's that last point that struck me the most. I suspected fear of mockery, dismissal, judgment, minimization, and rejection. I did not expect the secrecy. We carry our dreams in secret, hold them tight to our chests, and tell no one. In speaking to hundreds of people about their dreams lately and taking a formal poll, I discovered that the thing that holds us back from sharing is the shame of follow-through, the fear of being on the hook. Once you tell someone, then there's a real no-kidding expectation for you to do something about it. Because if you see that person again, they will ask you, how's the book going? And you will have to say, I haven't worked on it at all since I last saw you. I wondered why full-grown adults in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s felt comfortable telling me their secrets back in the psych clinic. I thought maybe it was because I was exceptionally great at my job and had nailed the effect and dispositional aspect of securing trust with participants. Nope, it had nothing to do with me, and everything to do with shame and accountability. If you're never going to see me again, you don't risk being asked, how are you? Are you still cutting yourself? Still throwing up your food? Where are you hiding that gun you told me about? With a stranger, you can release the tension of your secret without any accountability. You aren't on the hook. You don't have to do anything about it. We are terrified of making our dreams come true. Quitting your job and moving to Bali is not what I'm talking about. That's not a dream. That's the plot of Eat, Pray, Love. And that wasn't a dream either. That was a healing journey. Her dream was to be a writer and to be free from social convention and an oppressive marriage. I'm talking about the 67-year-old who works as a recruiter, didn't quit anything, supports herself, and sets her own hours, but her passion is music, and she regularly goes to her husband's studio to help with production and gets to listen in on her son, who is also in the industry. Her dream was not to be on stage, just to be surrounded by music. And so she is. I'm talking about the 33-year-old who finally admitted she didn't want to be in the C-suite. She was really close at a major publicly traded company and desired nights at home covered in spit up with her two amazing kids, working her butt off as a caregiver and relishing in the joy of her quotidian life. I'm talking about the CTO who writes poetry. He didn't quit his job. He didn't publish his poems. He has no interest in being a professional poet. He writes poetry because he is a poet, and he shares his poems on Instagram stories. He loves tech. He's an engineer. You can be both things. Each of these people is doing, and doing requires defining, and defining requires telling, because none of this is possible in isolation. It happens in community with others who support you and keep you on the hook, not with shame, but with encouragement and recognition. Recognition that this is not linear. There are many paths forward, and most of the time you'll get it wrong before you get it right. That recognition only happens in connection with those who are willing to lean into the vulnerability of their own dreams. You just listened to the post titled, Why We Don't Tell People About Our Dreams by Margo Aaron of thatseemsimportant.com. And another really terrific write-up from Margo. I really, really enjoy her work. So good. And I hope that you contemplate this article, folks. You know, an article like this really has the power to unlock something in you. Something about what you actually want out of life. You know, maybe you have a lot of ideas and you don't quite know what stands out. Or maybe you've deliberately suppressed your ideas, not feeling as though any are realistic. Whatever end of the spectrum you're on, or even if you're in between, what we really want out of life can be drowned out pretty easily sometimes. So really sit with this article and see what comes up for you. And you don't have to tell anyone if you don't want to, but start with yourself and see if this post might provoke an honesty within you that has been lost or maybe even unknown up until this point. It is truly an article that can be transformational for certain people. So, I'll leave you to that, everyone. Good luck with your investigations. But before you get to them, be sure to check out our weekly bonus episode, which is live now in your feed as well. So, thank you for joining, and I hope to see you there, where your optimal life awaits.